The pandemic has affected all of us. Lockdowns, restrictions, families and friends kept apart, loved ones lost. Throughout the turbulence, Divine Onkar Mission has continued its service to communities in the UK and abroad. During the early days of COVID-19, Divine Onkar Mission had to navigate the pandemic as best as it could. Operations had stopped, but service to local communities here and abroad did not. At the height of the pandemic, the team swung into action, motivated by the need to help others. In Wolverhampton, the Elias Matthew Foundation works with vulnerable families who are not registered with the council. Divine Onkar Mission used its own initiative to provide vital supplies. Elsewhere, many families struggle to feed themselves. Food hubs like this one at Aldersley WV Active Centre were set up by Wolverhampton Council. Divine Onkar Mission contributed essential goods and food items. A much-needed cash boost for the Dharmesh Sikh Temple in Birmingham was welcomed, who are raising funds for the NHS. Divine Onkar Mission helped by contributing towards their £50,000 target. The work of Divine Onkar Mission has received local, regional and national press coverage and recognition over the years, but never more so than this year, when our team in India went on to provide aid throughout the pandemic. The Divine Onkar Mission team, comprised of staff members and well-known public figures, visited local areas where people live on a daily wage. During the pandemic, they had little source of income for themselves or their families. The team visited each community to speak to the elders and inform them of the services the charity can provide. While there, the team also donated food parcels containing a variety of items, stationery to children and monetary help. Mr. Shankar Tiwari is just one of the people who benefited. He's a rickshaw driver, but during the pandemic he broke his leg. With no way to support his family, DOM stepped in to help with his medical expenses. Thankfully, he's now back on his feet. In total, his treatment cost 3,800 rupees plus 200 rupees for his living expenses. For us here in the UK, this is only £40. These acts of support may seem small to us, but they make a huge difference between life and death for those who are living hand to mouth every day. Our young people are the citizens of tomorrow. In the past, they've been involved in helping to distribute clothing and educational materials to lesser-known tribes who face extinction. They've carried out clean-up litter campaigns and have a real sense of civic duty and active involvement in the development of their local communities. Well, this year they've stepped up again to provide aid during COVID-19. These youngsters have now named their group Onkarian Youth. These former students have also visited Divine Onkar Mission sites like the old age home, where they've spent time with elders and donated food items. They've also returned to the Divine Onkar Mission school and spent time with both staff and children. And they continue to see us as their home, and we will always be there to provide our support to them. What a fine example to set for their younger counterparts, and with more and more students joining the cause, it's clear that the principles and teachings at Divine Onkar Mission are creating a sustainable pipeline of future leaders. As you may be aware, farmers from all over India have been protesting against reforms passed by the government, which they felt treated them unfairly. So they travelled to the nation's capital, New Delhi, to protest for their livelihoods. Divine Onkar Mission hit the ground running by going to the Singhu border in Delhi to provide help. The charity provided free medical supplies and basic health examinations, especially as COVID was a constant presence. As the protests continued, contact was made with volunteers who'd been working on the ground in the early stages of the protest. Mr. Jasbir Singh and his team were based in Haryana, Delhi, and Dr. Balbir Singh and his team were based at the Singhu border in Delhi. By providing both teams with monetary support, aid was delivered where it was most needed. Mr. Bedi and his team provided food parcels, and Mr. Balbir Singh and his team performed examinations and distributed medical supplies. An agreement has finally been reached, and the 3 bills have now been repealed. Divine Onkar Mission is thankful to all the volunteers on the ground who gave up their time and resources. The No One Should Go Hungry programme was created in response to the work done by the Divine Onkar Mission team in India. After visiting different communities, one of the main concerns for most families was, where's the next meal going to come from? So Divine Onkar Mission opened its doors at the Ramgarh base and served daily langars. People came in droves from all over the state and beyond. A number of them shared distressing stories, but were very grateful for the langar service. People who are in a privileged position have stepped forward to help, from local dignitaries, business owners, well-known public figures, organisations, families and our donors here in the UK. All have been so generous in their support for this worthy cause. Diseases spread by dirty water kills children and vulnerable adults. A water well builds good health and supports the healthy development of old and young alike. The Waterwell project had to be halted during the pandemic. However, this year wells are once again being built. If you would like to support, then please donate £650 and we can add a plaque with a message to your liking. Clean drinking water and good health is worth every penny and pound. Sadly, it's a fact that more and more older people are without shelter or support from their families in India. This is particularly so in Jharkhand. Extreme poverty means that it has become difficult for many families to look after their elders, especially through COVID-19. Divine Onkar Mission's old age home has been adapted to suit the needs of those who have a mixed ability. The residents have access to television, a radio, as well as games to help entertain and pass their time. And a beautiful garden has also been created where they can spend time enjoying the sunshine. During the farmers' protest, Divine Onkar Mission provided funds to help with eye care. At the time, 3,000 pairs of glasses were donated and funds towards 60 eye operations. This was done with the help of Dr. Balbir Singh. Divine Onkar Mission's own eye hospital in Ramgarh is now back in full swing, providing top quality eye care for those who can't afford medical interventions. It's been a busy time for our staff and volunteers, but this much needed help can only continue with your generous support. Serving humanity is our mission and our duty to mankind, but we can't do it without your continued support. Thank you.